Welcome to my channel. This story is about a house and a room that wasn't supposed to exist. A room that was never built, never shown in the blueprint, and yet someone lived inside it. Jake Turner, a 23-year-old college student, moved into a small house outside the city. It was quiet, cheap, and perfect for someone who wanted to live alone. On his first night, he noticed something unusual. The bedroom wall across his bed felt hollow. If he tapped it, the sound was deeper than the rest of the walls. His landlord had told him the house had 2 bedrooms, but Jake only saw one. He assumed maybe the other bedroom was walled off because of renovation, but something didn't feel right. That night, at 2:14 a.m., Jake woke up to a faint sound, a slow, steady knock. Not from the door, not from the window, but from inside the wall. 3 knocks, soft, patient, like someone was politely asking to come out. He froze in his bed, listening. The sound stopped. He convinced himself he imagined it and went back to sleep. But it happened again the next night. Same time, same pattern. 3 soft knocks from the exact same spot. A week later, Jake brought a large mirror to hang on the hollow wall. As he lifted it and pressed it against the surface, the mirror vibrated, just slightly, like the wall behind it was breathing. He stepped back, staring at it. The room felt colder. At 2:14 a.m. that night, the knocking started again. This time, the mirror shook with each knock. Jake whispered into the dark, "Who's there?" The knocking stopped, but then he heard something new. A voice, a faint, distant whisper. It didn't sound angry. It didn't sound scared. It sounded sad. Jake couldn't make out the words, but he sensed one thing clearly. The voice was calling his name. The next morning, Jake went to the city records office to see the blueprint of the house. The clerk brought out a dusty file. Jake studied the layout, and that's when he froze. The blueprint showed bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bathroom, hall. Jake only had 1 bedroom. Where was bedroom 2? It was supposed to be exactly where the hollow wall was. He asked the clerk if there were renovations. "No," she replied. "This house hasn't been changed since 1983. That meant the room behind his wall wasn't sealed recently. It had been sealed for 40 years. Jake returned home, heart pounding. Someone, or something, had been in that room for decades. Jake pressed his ear against the mirror. Nothing. He knocked. Silence. He took a deep breath and slid the mirror off the wall to look behind it. His blood ran cold. The wall behind the mirror was covered in scratch marks, hundreds of them. Deep, clawing lines dug into the plaster. Some were small, like a child's fingernails. Others were large, too large. Jake whispered, "What were you trying to escape from?" He touched the wall and felt a vibration beneath his fingertips. A heartbeat, a living, slow heartbeat, coming from behind the wall. Jake grabbed a hammer and began breaking the hollow wall. The plaster cracked easily, and behind it was a door. A wooden door with no handle, and carved into it were 5 words. "Do not open from this side." Jake stepped back, trembling. The knocking started again. But this time, it wasn't gentle. It was desperate, rapid, loud, panicked. Someone was banging from the inside. Jake shouted, "Who's in there?" The voice answered clearly this time. A young girl. "Please, help. He's still here." Jake froze. He? Who's he? But before the girl could answer, a deeper voice spoke from behind the door, a voice that didn't sound human. Open it! The hammer fell from Jake's hand. The air turned ice cold. The lights flickered, and something scratched the door from the inside. Slowly, deliberately, Jake started backing away. The knocking turned violent. The door shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. The mirror on the bed cracked. Then, with a thunderous slam, the door burst open. A freezing wind blew through the room, and standing in the doorway was no girl, no man, just a tall shadow, twisted, bent, black as midnight, eyes glowing faintly behind its shape. The shadow leaned forward. It whispered with the girl's voice, "Thank you for letting me out." The lights went dead. The room fell silent, and Jake Turner was never seen again. All they found in his house was a mirror lying face down on the floor, and on the wall behind it, fresh scratch marks spelling one message: "Let me in again."